Hi, Julie. Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for inviting me, Lindsay. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So today I've brought you here because, I've brought you onto Zoom, so we can have a quick chat about Lapland and how it's doing, etc. So it's a bit sad this year that we're not going to be able to send all those families off to Santa's workshop, etc. And people can't go off and see the Northern Lights, etc. It's quite a sad time of year, but it's a good time for us to talk about the fact that it is a popular destination, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's an amazing destination. It's something like nothing else that you could go to, even if you're a keen skier and you're used to snow. It's just so very different. And you're right, we can't take people this year, but people are still looking ahead for next year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, traditionally, Lapland sells out very quickly, and it's going to be even more so for next year. So we need to stress that, we need to, if this is something that you're looking for and you've not been able to go on holiday this year, now's the time to maybe look at going and doing that once in a lifetime trip to Lapland and seeing Santa.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. I think, unfortunately, due to Finnish regulations, quarantine rules, and obviously COVID that's around, we haven't been able to take people out this year at all, which is really sad times. However, what it means is you've got more people looking that couldn't go this year, looking to now go next year. So the demand is really high. We've been on sale with Ingham's Santa Breaks and Santa's Lapland for a good few months now, a good couple of months. We went on sale a little bit earlier than perhaps we would have done earlier.
Yeah.
But people are moving across because it is that bucket list type destination, and it is so magical. People don't want to miss out. So demand is high. Yes.
Yeah. And in terms of the activities that they do, I mean, it is absolutely amazing. You don't get to experience this really anywhere else, do you? That whole
Uh,
magical experience.
oh my
What?
goodness.
Yeah.
I just get goosebumps every time I think about it.
So, what kind of activities could they expect to do on a Lapland trip with yourselves?
So when you go, if you're doing this, if you're doing it all about Santa, so you're doing the Santa or a short break or whatever, then obviously you will meet the main man himself. It's always a private meeting. It's always done really lovely. It's magic tickets. The kids don't necessarily know when they jump on that snowmobile and go whizzing through the forest trying to find Santa that that's where they're going to end up. But even outside of that, there is just so many other things. You can drive the Huskies. And when I say drive the Huskies, you really are. You're on the back of the Huskies that are
Wow.
pulling your sleigh. You're on two planks of wood and you've got a break in the middle. And it's quite hairy, but it's just fantastic. You're going through all the trees and it's just brilliant. The dogs absolutely love it. You've also got, you can do snowmobiling. It's not necessarily always included, but you can do that as an activity when you're there. You can go around and you can do all things like ice hockey, and reindeer rides, and you can go for the little kids. I have seen adults doing it, to be fair, but for the little kids, you can do ice fishing. You just got a little hole and you're trying to catch fish in the ice, and there's just so many things that you can actually do. And if you're going on a Santa day, the Arctic Circle Centre, then all of this is actually there for you to do. But then if you want to go and search the Northern Lights, and you want to do that by snowmobile, you can do that as a separate excursion, and you can just go off and do it. Just everything you do in Lapland is just pure magic. It really is just wonderful.
It truly is. And in terms of the activities that are included in the packages that we do for the Santa's Lapland, what kind of time scale, how much time do they get with the huskies and the reindeers
So
and things?
with Santa's Lapland, you have a whole day at the Arctic Circle Centre. You would depend on where you're staying. You'll be picked up by coach transfer, taken, which is only about half an hour away from where we're actually staying. And we use the resort called Saraselka, which is way north into the Arctic Circle. It's about 250 kilometres into it, so it's really, really proper in the north of it. You get there at a certain time, but then from then in, it's a rolling transfer coming back. So you can actually spend as long as you want to there. The park won't shut. And when I say park, I use that term very loosely, but it won't shut until the last person has left because everybody's checked out. That you don't have to go back at a set time. So it depends on the family that's there or the group of people that are there being able to do it. So you've got a really good length of time. The only thing you actually have a time for is the husky rides. And that's just because of the dogs and the rotation, and they can only allow so many people. Everything else is to do as your leisure, really. You always get a lunch included, and it's a warming lunch, so you'll get the like a spaghetti bolognese or something, you know. Oh yeah, it's what you need. It's so cold out there. And there's so many different things that you can do. There's little warming huts around. You can go in and warm by the fire, have a warm berry juice or hot pancakes or freshly made cookies by all the elves that are around there. So literally, depending on your group, you've got as long as you want. I think most people are usually gone by about 5. And then the last thing that's quite good to finish up with, in my opinion, is the ice bar, where you get a hot chocolate with Baileys.
Oh, sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely fantastic. And they get all their equipment included, don't they, with the boots and
Yeah.
So they're kept warm.
They do. It really gets quite cold out there. It can get to in the -20s. I haven't been there when it's been that cold, but it can be. But you get given your thermal boots, which are really cozy. You also get your thermal suits, which are really big. So, you know, they keep you really warm. You also get mittens and you get socks. My personal opinion is definitely take your own hat, because you'll need your hat. If you've got your own ski gloves, take your own sort of ski gloves, because some people don't like just mittens. Socks, I usually wear ski socks under my woolly socks that they provide, and then you've just got ultra warm, and then layers underneath your thermal suits. But that's all included. So, you know, when you're actually there, the only things that you would pay for on top are the extras, like the snowmobile to go and see the Northern Lights. This is on the Magic Trip. There's a couple of different trips, and obviously you can advise your customers which ones suit better. But you've got the snowmobile excursions, and there's 1 or 2 other things you can do. In some resorts, you might want to go skiing, you can do that. All of the activities within the Arctic Circle are included. All your meals are included, your thermal suits are included, and obviously all your flights, etc. So you actually need very little money when you're there, apart from drinks in the bar and, you know, maybe the odd souvenir that you want to buy. So yeah, it's very inclusive.
And it's important to say that in the evenings as well, when you all meet for dinner, there's, you know, a buzz and there's an atmosphere, isn't there? An excitement to talk about what you've done. You meet lots of other families as well, don't you? And then on the last night, they have a good entertainment evening, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I think the entertainment, the mixing of the groups and the people is just brilliant, because everybody is on a high. You know, on the plane on the way out, everybody's so excited about what's going to happen, what's going to be there. You know, and sometimes if you've got a really good crew, they'll take part in it and they'll get people singing songs and playing games. That does depend on the crew. But then, you know, when you arrive and then you go out on your day and then you come back and it's like, wow, what just happened? And, you know, like you said, we do the meals included. There's a festive theme on the last night before everybody comes home. So it's, you know, it's not necessarily roast turkey, but it is a festive meal that you get, and everything's all, you know, it's a good evening's entertainment. So yeah, it is really good. And I think, you know, it's nice to go out into the resort as well, because even if you're just wandering through the resort of Saraselka, you see kids pulling themselves along, or, you know, being parents pulling them along on the little toboggans that are just around for you to take. And Lapland itself is just, it's not a commercialized place. Everything about it is natural. The people just go for walks in the forests outside of their accommodation. They just take themselves off, go for little walks. That snow is like, it's like diamonds, you know, it just sparkles. You cannot throw a snowball. I'm sorry, but you can't throw a snowball. It's too powdery. You know, if you want to have a snowball fight, it's just dust. So you get your own entertainment, but there is some going on in the hotel as well. Yeah.
Oh, it just sounds truly magical. It really does. Really get you in the Christmas spirit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It really does. This time last year I was there, so, you know, I keep on my Facebook feed keeps popping up saying, "Oh, you've met Santa today." I'm like, I know. So excited.
Oh, so you touched on also as well, and you know, Lapland is a fantastic place, and it's not commercialized, and it's not the kind of place that probably people don't often think that it's not just about Santa either, is it? You know, this is somewhere
No,
that you can go and enjoy if you're just a couple or a group of friends. You know, it's not
yeah.
about you have to go and see Santa, and this can be done after Christmas as well, can't it?
Yeah, it can. Obviously, in the lead up to Christmas, it generally is all about Santa. And people quite often say to me, I don't have children, but can I go? Oh my goodness, absolutely. I don't care whether you're adult or child, that magic is there. And to go and see Santa is brilliant. But a lot of couples want to go away, maybe January, February, and go to Lapland for Lapland. And like I said a few minutes ago, that snow is just it's just fantastic. It's very crystally, sparkly. The sky, because at certain times of year you don't actually get the sunrise, so you actually, it just sort of, it glows. You get that dusk throughout quite a lot of the day, a dusk dawn, pinky skies. And then all those things that I said about what you can do within the Arctic Circle Centre when you're seeing Santa, you can do as different excursions when you're there. So you can go snowshoeing, you can go skiing. In some resorts, they've got great ski, not loads of mileage, but you can ski. You can go and do the husky rides, go to the farms, you can go and do the reindeer rides and see and meet the Sami people that, look after these animals and have done for generations. You can even you can go and stay in an igloo hotel. You can go and stay somewhere and see the northern lights, stay way above the light pollutions, etc., and stay in a beautiful property where you can lay and just see the stars. You've got the ice hotel. If anybody's looking to get married, perfect place. Get married in the ice hotel and have a night under the stars. I just can't think of
Yeah.
anything else more romantic.
I have actually been to the Ice Hotel, and I can vouch it is absolutely amazing. And I love the whole story behind it as well. There's a lot of, about how they take it from the river and it's natural building. And I think they said the only thing that stays the same every year in terms of design is the chandelier in reception, which just amazed me. The suites are fantastic. It's an experience I'll never ever forget. Yeah.
It's just wonderful, isn't it? You've beat me. I haven't been to the Ice Hotel, so I just learned something from you, which is amazing. But yeah, it is just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is just absolutely amazing when you get there, and to think that this whole building is built from fresh every single year,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it is just wonderful. Yeah,
And I think I could be right. I think they start freezing the blocks from about September time in a great big warehouse, and then they
they
start
do.
building it. Yeah.
They do. I think in some resorts this year, they actually, because we had such good snow last year,
Mm,
um, or earlier this year, and people couldn't go skiing, they saved some of the snow for this winter. So,
wow.
so when they've been building all the stuff, which obviously they did start building because, we were hoping to go. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It's an incredible story.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is, and it's well worth a visit. So yeah, I mean, it the whole thing just sounds magical, and I'd love to take my kids to Lapland, and it's on my list to do. Working in travel, I don't always get to go everywhere, and that is one that's on my list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can vouch for the Ice Hotel, and it is an experience that you can do with or without children as well. It is a fantastic experience. So thank you, Julie. Thank
You're
you for
very
your
welcome.
time today. It has been fantastic just to hear about everything that's going on in Lapland. So if anybody is interested and wants more information, I work with Julie. So feel free to get into contact with me, and we can start booking or searching for your Lapland holiday next Christmas. Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.